If you're in your 40s or your 50s and you're trying to lose body fat and look good with your shirt off, there might be some exercises that you're currently doing that are holding you back, or at worst, even setting you up for a catastrophic injury. So in today's video, I'm breaking down 5 exercises that you should ditch and what to do instead so that not only do you lose fat, build muscle, feel amazing, but you're able to sustain your health and fitness for a very long time without the risk of injury. Okay, so let's start with the big one, which I know everybody loves to hate, which is the barbell back squat. Now, I was back squatting since I was in high school, training for baseball, building my leg strength, and playing sports. But the back squat, as we get older, or let's just say the longer we've been out of the game, the back squat is not my favorite leg builder. Now, is it a great exercise? Of course, it's a phenomenal exercise. One that I will have my 2 boys doing as they train for sports and get older. But in my opinion, there are better options to build your leg, glute, and hamstring strength, which I'm gonna show you. The back squat, for guys who don't have strong mobility, strong core strength, shoulder flexibility, or just have trouble understanding the form required to back squat effectively, this can be a dangerous one, and honestly, one that's not worth the squeeze. So let me show you a replacement that I like to install for my clients. So I'm actually gonna show you 2 exercises that you can do to replace the barbell back squat. The first one is the goblet squat. Now you're just gonna hold a dumbbell like a goblet, right? Like you're drinking a goblet in Game of Thrones, and you're gonna do a squat, which once again, we're still performing a squat, but we just have the weight in front of us now, which actually allows our body to get into better squat form a lot more naturally than the barbell back squat. Now, I'm not saying this one doesn't require a really strong focus on form, but one of the things I've noticed with clients is that number 1, we don't need to overload a barbell, put our lower back at risk. It's a much safer exercise to get set up with. And our clients, when we're holding the weight in front, naturally sit back into a squat a lot easier. So I like the goblet squat as my number 1 replacement for the barbell squat, but let me show you another one. Now, before we get into the next one, I wanted to let you know I put together a ripped body roadmap guide. It's absolutely free. All you have to do is comment ripped below this video. And what I've done is I literally outlined everything I could possibly think of when it comes to getting you started on a plan that's gonna be sustainable, enjoyable, and highly effective if you're trying to look good with your shirt off, if you're sick and tired of being the fat husband who feels insecure at the pool, at the beach, maybe your spouse is in better shape, or you look around and all your friends are getting fatter and more unhealthy, and you wanna be the guy that actually leads from the front, who is the healthy guy in the group, who's the fit guy, who takes his shirt off and feels super confident. That's you. Put together a roadmap for you. It will outline A to Z, everything I would suggest you do to start getting your body into the shape you wanna be in. Comment the word ripped below and I'll send it to you for free. Now, not everybody has access to a trap bar, but if you do, the trap bar deadlift is also a great substitution for the barbell back squat. Now, you are working more of your posterior chain with a deadlift, but we're still driving through the floor. We're still working on some quad strength. It's one of my favorite substitutions for the barbell squat because it also puts your body in, once again, a place of more safety so you can execute the exercise a lot more effectively and get a huge benefit. So I like the neutral grip by our sides, just like a farmer's carry. Drive it straight up. That's the hex bar deadlift, which can be a great substitution when we're trying to build quad, glute, and hamstring strength in a safe way. I've been coaching guys for the better part of 20 plus years. And besides the barbell back squat, one of the things I see coaches and trainers still programming, it's probably from CrossFit, you know, those crazy CrossFitters who just like to throw a bunch of random exercises together and sweat it out. I'm not saying there isn't a time and place for it. If you're a CrossFitter, don't worry, I still love you. I like some CrossFit workouts, I think they're fun, but there's one exercise that I see programmed that honestly, unless you're training for a performance goal that requires this exercise, I don't know why you would ever program it, to be honest, and that is the burpee. Now, I know there's a bunch of dudes who did time in prison who like to show off all their burpees, and you know what, props to you, because when you don't have anything else but your body weight to train with, I'm with you, man. Get some push-ups, get some pull-ups, get some burpees if that's your thing to get some cardio built up. I'm not saying don't ever do burpees. I just don't program them for the guys I personally coach unless we're getting ready for like a high rocks or a DecaFit, or we just have a dude who's like, hey, I wanna do burpees. And okay, fine, we'll do some burpees. But the burpee, despite it being a absolutely torturous exercise that will get your heart rate up, that will, you know, put your whole body in lactic acid shock, basically, where you just feel like the world is ending and everything around you is crumbling down and you're not gonna survive. The burpee is replaced by another exercise that, once again, is safer, will actually help contribute to building some muscle, and is much more functional than a burpee, okay? And most people who struggle to even do 10 push-ups in a row are not going to struggle as much with this one that I'm gonna show you right now. Now, the exercise I like to program for my clients who wanna get their heart rate up, want a little more functional work, is the heavy kettlebell swing. Now, you're gonna see people do the kettlebell swing completely wrong, pretty much 24/7. The kettlebell swing is a hip hinge followed by a powerful glute contraction, okay? So we're gonna get some glute work, which is super important for you guys who have lower back pain, knee pain, all the things that coming from ignoring your glutes. The kettlebell swing is here. We're going to allow the kettlebell to be pulled through our legs, and we're hinging at the hips and we're squeezing forward. We're not trying to squat and then swing the kettlebell as high as we can. The swing actually comes from the power of the glutes thrusting forward. Now, this will get your heart rate up and build some strength. You don't even need to do high reps with the kettlebell swing. Now you can, you know, if you're doing 10 to 20 reps, that's fine, but you can even go pretty heavy and do 5 rep sets and really get a massive burn and get your heart rate up, which could even be a form of interval cardio at the end of a workout, which sometimes we like to do to finish off the day. So the kettlebell swing replaces the burpees. Let me show you the next one. Now, I'm hesitant to talk about this next one, but I just see so many guys doing it incorrectly, putting themselves in harm's way, that I have to replace it. And that is the overhead barbell press. Now, this is a tremendous shoulder exercise, one that I do relatively frequently, but I've also built up a massive amount of glute, core, and shoulder strength over the years. And if you don't have that, this one, once again, can put your lower back, your shoulders, and honestly, even your elbows at risk for things like tendonitis, just an overall strain, and honestly, an injury that can set you back quite a while. So what do we do to replace it? Let me show you my favorite shoulder power and strength exercise that you can do right now. So I still think it's important for us to overhead press. What we're gonna do is a split stance where we have one foot in front, whatever foot is stronger. You can also change it up. We're gonna do a split stance, neutral grip shoulder press. The split stance gives us a little more stability, protects our lower back, and we're just gonna drive straight up. Slow and controlled down. Boom, you can even get a little bit of knee drop and power to drive those dumbbells straight up. Now, once again, this is not an easy exercise. It's just, in my opinion, it's a little safer if we're trying to build shoulder power and strength. So that split stance, neutral grip overhead shoulder press is how I would replace the barbell overhead press. So in terms of training, and I outline this stuff in really great detail inside of my Ripped Body Roadmap, which if you don't have a copy, just comment the word ripped and I'll send you the link to get it for free. The Ripped Body Roadmap is my full outline of how I would suggest guys in their late 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond eat, train, and supplement to get in the best shape of their life, so they don't have to feel like the overweight husband or out of shape dad who just feels really insecure about his body. And you want to have a body that truly represents who you are as a man. If you are someone who is a hardworking leader, who has strong values, strong integrity, you put the right things first, you appreciate living by a strong moral code and high standards, this is a guide that will get you started. And honestly, it's pretty darn detailed. So don't get overwhelmed when you download it. I know giving away easy, quick checklists is all the rage, and I'm happy to do that. But this one has like all the things that I could possibly give you at no cost. So comment the word ripped, and let's continue to build a smart and sustainable system for you to follow for the rest of your life. Let's talk about the next exercise. Now, this next one is not anything to do with weights. It's actually running. I see so many guys in my neighborhood. In fact, there's one guy who, by the way, shout out to this dude if you ever watch this, which you probably never will, but let's just say you do. There's a guy who runs with an American flag every single day around my neighborhood. Now, he's doing it for different reasons, and I appreciate him. But I see a lot of guys who, when I'm out running, personally, because I do enjoy a couple runs per week, I see a lot of guys running with terrible running form. They're extremely overweight, and I know what's going on. At some point in their life, they were in better shape. And maybe you're the same way, where maybe you used to be able to run and you had very little pain, very little issues running. And now, unfortunately, because our bodies are not as strong or as well trained, running gives us issues. But yet we think if we run more, we're gonna lose weight. because in the past, that's what happened. I'm just here to tell you, for me personally, running, and a lot of the guys I work with, running is not the best form of cardio to lose weight for a number of reasons. Number one, it can lead to injuries, which put us out of the gym, prevent us from wanting to train. It really kills our motivation. Second thing is, for me at least, it jacks up my appetite, okay? So I'm burning more calories in a shorter period of time with running than I would by just going for a casual walk. But the downside is my appetite gets way out of control and I want to eat everything and it's hard for me to stick to a calorie deficit. What I would suggest is for cardio, swapping out running with either just walking casually, walking with a weight vest on, or walking on an incline treadmill. There are actually appetite suppressing effects that tend to happen for me and the guys I work with when most of our cardio is done walking. Now, if you're somebody who just loves to run and you're like, you know what, dude, that's cool and all, but I actually really enjoy running. Totally fine. Just go into it with the mindset that I'm doing this for pure enjoyment, performance, and I'm not really doing this to lose weight. Because I'll tell you, in most cases, guys aren't going to experience long-term success if running is your primary form of cardio. But as we get leaner, as we get healthier, and as we get in better shape and we focus more on maintenance of health, I would think running would probably be a much better option for improving performance, improving cardiovascular, improving athleticism. Running can be a great tool. So I'm not here to tell you never run again. Of course, I like to run. I really do. It's a fun and honestly very challenging passion of mine that half the time I will admit I don't want to do it, but I love completing it more than anything else. So running can be great when used appropriately. Swap it out for walking if fat loss is the primary goal, and I promise you the results are gonna be a lot better long term. Okay, now the X exercise that I'm gonna tell you to ditch, this is number 5, is the barbell bench press. Now, I'm not here to tell you, and by the way, I'm totally hitting this dumbbell over here to the side, so I gotta scoot down, try to get around it. But don't do barbell bench press next to a dumbbell like this. But the barbell bench press is a great power exercise, okay? I did barbell bench for years. In fact, I was obsessed with it because my chest was very underdeveloped. And honestly, for better or for worse, a big reason why my chest is probably in great shape now is all the barbell work. Now, the only thing I will say to that is don't get it twisted. Don't think that, oh, he's telling me not to do barbell work, but he's crediting barbell bench press for his chest development. I actually think my chest would be even better if I focus more on the exercise I will tell you to do instead. This one is a slight variation on one that you're probably thinking I'm gonna talk about, but let me show you what I mean. Now, before I show you the replacement, 2 things. Once again, I'm not saying the barbell bench press never has a time and place. I just think for most guys, it causes too high of a risk of a pec tear, shoulder strain, and it's really hard to get a spot on the barbell bench press because a lot of you train alone. And so I'd hate for you to get stuck under a barbell bench press. It's one of the most embarrassing things that I've ever experienced. So strongly suggest switching to the one I'll tell you to do. Before I do, last reminder, comment the word ripped below this video and I will send you the Ripped Body Roadmap. And by the way, I will just say, I've worked with over, this is crazy, I've been in the fitness industry for 20 plus years, coaching guys, probably very similar to yourself. We've had the privilege of working with over 8,000 clients, online and in person, over that course of time. So 20 years that I've been a personal trainer and online coach, and now running a worldwide coaching system for men who simply want to look good with their shirt off and are sick and tired of all the BS and need someone who they can relate to. That's me and the coaching team that we have. I say all that to say, if you are watching this and you got to this point in the video, first of all, props to you. You're investing some serious time into improving your health. And most people would just get 2 minutes into this and click off because it's just too much to think about to change their body. They just can't handle it. So you're already ahead of the game by just watching this video. Now go apply this stuff. But what I'll also say is, if you're serious about making a change and you've tried the fads, maybe you hired a personal trainer before, it didn't work out. Maybe you tried some workout apps, nothing ever actually changed. What I can tell you is that there's probably a few key things missing, all right? Strong coaching that holds you accountable, a community that wants you to win and wants to see you absolutely dominate, who will support you through thick and thin. And then 3, a brand new operating system instead of a fad diet or something that's not going to be sustainable. And then 4th, a strong investment into your health. Those are some of the key things I see guys completely missing that will change your identity forever and will put you in a place of strong health, leadership, and a lifelong foundation that will improve every part of your life with fitness. So I say all that to say, if you're serious, check out the links below. I do put a link to check out our actual coaching system if you're interested in taking that serious step. We don't do sales calls, we do consultations, we do action plan building sessions where before we even pitch you on anything, you'll get a free action plan in your hand from the first call. You'll see a roadmap of how to get to your specific goals that's customized to you. And if you like all that, then we'll set up an extra consultation where we'll talk about a partnership and working together. I just say that because there's so much going on in the industry right now where you're just getting people trying to pitch, push. We're trying to build a relationship with you. So if you're seeing this and you're interested, check out the links below. But at the very least, get the Ripped Body Roadmap. It's free. Comment ripped, I'll send it to you. Let me talk about how to replace the barbell bench press because we don't want to leave you hanging. So let's do that right now. All right, so I know shockingly enough, I'm using dumbbells, all right? But we're gonna do a slight incline dumbbell press. Okay, a lot of guys are gonna go high incline for their dumbbell press. I'm just going up at a slight incline, okay? Keeping my elbows slightly tucked in, not too flared out, and I'm driving straight up. And I wanna get a good stretch at the bottom here, okay? This is just providing a much safer environment for your pecs and your front delts to really get strong development without the risk of tearing a pec. Now, there's always a risk of small little injuries when you step foot in the gym. That's part of being in the Coliseum, if you will, the gladiator Coliseum of the gym. But I will say for me, dumbbells is always a safer route, especially if you train by yourself, because you can always just drop them. I know it'll make a loud noise and everybody's gonna stare and be like, oh my gosh. Trust me, it's way better than getting stuck under a barbell or tearing something because you couldn't stop the set when you need to. So just keep that in mind. That's one of my favorite chest builders. I do it just about every single week, sometimes twice a week if I train chest twice in a week. But it's the slight incline dumbbell press. Now, there's other exercises, obviously. These are just 5 that I would suggest you consider replacing. But at the end of the day, your journey is your journey. I'm just here to help give you insight, experience that I've had from working with guys like you over the past 20 plus years. If you are interested in taking the next step to make a permanent change, a permanent transformation, check out the link below to our True Transformation Coaching System, or start with our Ripped Body Roadmap. It's free. Comment the word RIP below and I'll send it to you 100% free. But that's all I got today. Life moves fast, make it count. I will see you on another video here that I just put up that I think we will get a lot out of. In the meantime, go crush it. Talk to you in the next one. Peace.